Xeodrifter is a 2D side-scrolling platform game from developer Renegade Kid, which largely forgoes any form of narrative in favour of an emphasis on simple exploration. It's also quite a blatant love letter to the Metroid series, although it's hard not to find the manner in which Xeodrifter wears its Metroid-loving heart on its sleeve as anything other but endearing. There's a short introduction at the beginning of the game, and basically you become stranded after a near miss with a meteor, and your ship becomes damaged, so you must look for a new core. Your main mission is that you must find a replacement core for your ship, located somewhere amongst the nearby planets. While Xeodrifter isn't a lengthy game, the main campaign clocks in around 4 to 6 hours, I did find it tough, but I think it's deliberately tough. Your damaged ship can only reach 4 planets, and however, you're actually unlikely to get very far when you first visit these planets, and you'll quickly discover that you'll need additional abilities in order to progress. With minimal opportunities to restore depleted health nodes and upgrade weapons, and with checkpoints being few and far between, Xeodrifter does well to establish a sense of survival and tension throughout. And this is essentially the central aspect of Xeodrifter's gameplay: non-linear exploration and survival, wherein lies an onus on the player to figure out where to go and what direction to take. It can be frustrating hitting the umpteenth dead end, and there is a lot of trial and error involved, and a little bit of luck as well, I suppose. You unlock various power-ups whilst exploring each planet in search of your prized engine core, and more specifically, your power-ups are gained by defeating a boss. These boss encounters require a measurement of concentration and good reactions, and a little bit of patience, but they're really unvaried, and as a result you don't actually become that much more difficult the further it gets. You basically fight the same boss with different attack patterns. But once you've defeated the boss, you gain a new ability, and this allows you to return to the other planets that you probably have visited already, but you can enter previously inaccessible areas. I had a little bit of luck in this regard. On the first planet I decided to visit, I took off in one direction before coming across some water which I couldn't dive under or navigate. Basically, I rather than turning around, I headed in the opposite direction on the same planet, but that meant I actually encountered my first boss. Once I defeated it, I got access to a submarine ability which granted me that power to explore under the water, and basically allowed me to explore a lot more of the planet, and this was a good feeling. I do feel though that the game, it's bordering on frustration, repetition sometimes, and progression in it doesn't always feel satisfying, and you don't always feel as though there is a constant sense of progression. While these traits are usually genre necessities, occasional major spikes in difficulty serve to stall the momentum and make certain sections of the game more tedious than they should be. As a result, I did feel as though Xeodrifter didn't feel as naturally inventive as, for example, something like Shovel Knight, sometimes taking too long to unlock different parts of the map, and this feeling more like a chore than natural and intuitive progression. There are only 4 planets to explore, and only so far the player can go. There's only so far the player can go without coming across a solution to an obstacle. The game just doesn't flow particularly well. That said, the fact that Xeodrifter is a short game doesn't feel detrimental to the overall experience. Too much of a good thing and all that. Xeodrifter doesn't overdo things. It's small, it's compact, and it doesn't oversell or overcomplicate itself, and so in that respect it does feel quite refreshing. I didn't need to, or necessarily want, to play any more of the game when I'd finished the main campaign, and I do mean that as a compliment. So basically what I'm trying to say is, as long as you expect nothing more from Xeodrifter than what it is up front, basically providing a sort of Metroidvania with retro aesthetics and gameplay, I thought that whilst this game definitely isn't perfect, it's got a lot of charm to it, and if you like Metroid style games and retro themed indie games, which there seems to be a lot of these days, then you'll definitely enjoy it. A bonus is if you have PS Plus, it's free at the moment, so there's no reason really not to download it.